Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, hits to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks a hard tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, swings down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's got it! Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown! No greater redemption!
The San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boy Mike from Nothing But Niners Crew, and guys, I am back. I am here to have another fun-filled episode, man. Today we're going to be going over some pressers, public style. This time we're going to be going over what we heard today from John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh. Oh, and the Niners did something diabolical today. Absolutely diabolical. And they let both quarterbacks speak to the press. Oh, I can't wait to get into all of it. Before we do, we're going to have some fun, though, with this one. Before we do, I got to go through the formalities so you guys know. Say it with me. You see the direction scrolling across the bottom of the screen. If it's your first time here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then turn on your notifications so you know exactly when we are going live. Give us a follow on some of our social media platforms. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Those handles are Nothing But Niners. If you're watching on Twitch right now, that is Nothing But Niners. The way it appears on the screen, with the spaces in between the words, please make sure you head on over to nothing_but_Niners, because once the bye week comes, the one that you are currently on will no longer exist, okay? After the bye week, we will only be broadcasting on nothing_but_Niners, okay? And then follow us on Snapchat and X. Those handles are Nothing But 9 ERS. That is the number 9, Nothing But 9 ERS. And last but certainly not least, we went live on Patreon today for the first time ever. I didn't even know. Patreon has this like live feature. I just clicked it and did the whole Kyle breakdown. Kyle does these Monday morning phone calls, and I broke that down, and they didn't save it. They didn't save it. I was going to, repurpose the video and make it available for, other tiers on Patreon later on and all that stuff, but they didn't do it. So, hey, you missed the live, then it's not my fault. You guys got to join, become a member, patreon.com/NB9ERS. I strongly recommend join the $10 or $20 tier, but the $5 tier will get you in there for the games. And we will be live on Thursday. I know everyone's got Prime. Everyone can watch it. Well, guess what? For those of you who don't, this is the place to be. Come and join the watch party. We have a lot of fun. And it's not one of those watch parties where it's my face this big and then the game is that big. I promise you guys you'll enjoy it. So head on over patreon.com/NB9ERS. I'm your guy, Mike Andrews 83. That is the X handle. All right. And right now, we're going to begin assessing the pressers. All right. So, again, John Lynch spoke, Kyle Shanahan spoke, and since we don't often do it, we are going to start with John Lynch, okay? He was on KNBR, Murph and Mack, he was on the Murph and Mack show. So we are going to pop that up here. It's not much to look at, but I will add it to the screen. It's kind of a still shot, all right? This was from earlier today. So let's go, man. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it.
For adjusting your schedule, we do appreciate it. Talking Niner football. How are you this Tuesday morning, John? Welcome back.
I'm going to play this over the music.
What's up, Murph? Marcus, how you guys doing? Doing well. These Thursday games always leave you wondering what day it is because, like, today's a combo Wednesday, Thursday for us. So, I don't know. It's still, I guess, Wednesday till about noon, and then it will be Thursday. And so we're kind of all scrambled.
What a mess.
That's what these Thursday games do to you. And who handles it best goes a long way towards, the deciding the outcome of the game.
That's very, very true. Just quickly, what is your guys' schedule? I mean, you said half day, like Wednesday becomes Thursday today. And then are you guys wheels up tomorrow? Like how crammed is this?
Yeah, we will be wheels up tomorrow. It is extremely crammed. Everybody handles it a little different. We give our players off yesterday. Now, when I say off, I think 50 of them came in yesterday to get body maintenance, to work out, to move around, which is important. Really stress a lot of sleep. They allow the guys to sleep a little longer on these days because as part of the recovery, that's critical. So you harp on everything that goes along with recovery on a short week, and it's we always talk about football players are very.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it.
No.
Meet Base 44, a complete.
Sorry, but no promo here. All right, here we go. Back to it.
Obviously, takes you out of your habit. It's a different deal, but again, I think
out to everybody
it very
in the chat.
much becomes a mindset who can kind of embrace.
They always go through this minutia
of the short
like
week.
they've never talked about.
You're listening to KBR AM and KBR FM San Francisco, the sports leader, Cumulus Media Station. So I know we're already thinking about the Rams on Thursday. But I guess before we do,
injuries,
what's your takeaway from Sunday? When John Lynch leaves Levi's Stadium on Sunday, puts his head on the pillow eventually Sunday night, probably a little ticked off. What was your main takeaway from that game for your team going forward?
Well, it wasn't good enough. I think that was the main takeaway, and somewhat surprised. It just didn't feel like us. There were a lot of uncharacteristic things in that game, and you just got to make sure that one of those games doesn't become two, and so you address it, and that is a challenge on we're not a team. A lot of teams, if you have a loss, like, hey, let's file that away. We're not going to look at it. We look at everything. We think everything's a growth opportunity. On a short week, you really don't have an opportunity. Now, when I say you don't have an opportunity, coaches watch it, players probably watch it on their own. We don't come together and watch it, and so it's important that we find the right takeaways from that game. What ailed us? They're pretty obvious when you don't protect the football and conversely, you're not taking it away. So I think if you're looking for positives, the fact that we were -4 in the turnover margin and had the ball with like three and a half minutes with an opportunity to go win that game, that's pretty remarkable. You're doing some things right if you're doing that. And, our defense has shown an ability when the game's on the line to get the ball back for us. And we did that yet again. And unfortunately, we couldn't pay it off. We had another turnover that ended the game. So just some uncharacteristic things. And we're going up against a very good Rams team at their place. And, to beat them, we're going to have to play much better.
John, we saw Brock Purdy back on the field this weekend. What was your evaluation of his performance? And do you guys maybe have the feeling that the toe injury maybe affected his performance on the field?
Well, it was great to have Brock back, first of all. And I think it's important to note this isn't something like back in the day, like Brett Favre wouldn't practice all week and then he'd step in and he'd go play. That wasn't this. Brock practiced all week, really showed no ill effects. Now, we all know playing in the game is different than practice. Practice, people stay away from the quarterback. And I think at one point during the game in the second quarter, he was scrambling, and I think that maybe is the opportunity. As I watch the film, I haven't talked to Brock yet, where maybe he felt that a little bit during the game. He's such a tough guy. I don't think he mentioned it to anyone. He played throughout the game. After the game, I think, as Kyle noted, he was a little sore, and so we'll see where that goes this week.
Yeah. Kyle did mention yesterday that he was dealing with soreness, but are you guys taking the steps to maybe do any MRI or imaging to see if he possibly re-aggravated the injury?
Yeah, we always look into everything for all of our players, so we will take every precaution to make sure that Brock's all right. I think he is. Now it's just a matter, can he turn it around on a short week?
I mean, just not to keep pressing it because it's only Tuesday and probably won't know till Thursday. Is it fair to say it's going to be up until game time, you think?
Yeah, I think he's listed as questionable, and I think it's a true reflection of where he's at right now.
And catching up on Mac Jones, we weren't totally sure what his status was going into that game. What's the latest with his knee sprain?
Mac's doing well. Mac's been really good for us in every respect, and the way he's kind of going about his rehab with the knee situation that he's been dealing with has been no different. He's tireless in his work, and so I think Mac's in a good spot to back up or play if need be.
John, can you give us an update on Ricky Pearsall?
He said, and I quote, or play if need be. I told you guys at the top of this, for those of you who weren't here, the Niners did something that I think is diabolical. Now you got John Lynch dropping it out there. Maybe he's going to be the one that plays, right? And they let both quarterbacks speak at the presser today. I'm just saying. Something to watch out for, guys. All right, here we go.
Status for this week, possibly.
Yeah, we all saw Ricky get banged up during that game. Ricky's listed as questionable. On this short week, like I said, players were in here for rehab and all that, got evaluated, but I think he's listed as questionable too. So we'll see how far he can get on the short week and see if he can get out there. I know Ricky's dying to be out there. He's playing such good football for us. It's really proud of the young man for the way he's handled everything, and he's playing at a high level.
All right, John Lynch, of course, joins us every Thursday, but today's Tuesday because Thursday's a game, if that makes sense. Anyway, he's with us. We appreciate him. On the UMA guest line, of course, the 49ers president of football operations and general manager. So many different storylines, always with an NFL team and with you guys. And last week, our big storyline was you guys don't have Nick Bosa for the rest of the year, and, man, you lamented it. We all lamented it. Then you guys went out defensively, and I think if you look at certain aspects of this defense performance, there was a lot of positive things. The one thing that stuck out, though, is that there was no quarterbacks hits or sacks. And the first time, I guess, 49er D-line hasn't hit a quarterback since 2015. So I don't know, John, your evaluation, you said you're going to wait and see what we have. What did you think of the pass rush without Nick Bosa?
Well, you have to hit the quarterback in this league to force them to put the ball in harm's way. And, that's something we pride ourselves on. Now, I'll tell you that coming into that game, Jacksonville got rid of the football when passing faster than anybody in the league. It was, that was something we noted, and, it's just the way they're playing offense. They're running the football well, kind of playing that RPO game, and just the ball's out of Trevor Lawrence's hand right away. And so it was no different this week. Having said that, we got to find a way to put the quarterback under duress. That's the key to defensive football, to make the quarterback uncomfortable. I don't think we did a good enough job of that. And so we go back to the drawing board, and we got to find ways. We got to beat the people in front of us, and we got to find ways to make the quarterback uncomfortable, particularly with Matt Stafford. He's such a good player, playing at such a high level, has a lot of weapons at his disposal. Any quarterback, especially the best guys in the league, you got to make them uncomfortable. You got to hit them to let them know you're there and make them uncomfortable.
No sacks and no turnovers this weekend against Jacksonville, but Upton Stout came pretty damn close with a potential interception that was taken off the board due to a PA call against Travis Hunter. John, I got to get your breakdown as a former safety. Your thoughts on that call?
Yeah. We'll just leave it at
allowed
that. I didn't like it. I thought it was a game-changing play.
They're not allowed to say they
Upton
disagree with the call.
I think everyone can see it. He's just an incredible competitor. And I thought that play was no different. He made a big play at a big moment for us, and the ref saw something that I'm having a hard time seeing. So,
boy, that's the frustrating part of the game for sure, as are the turnovers, in general. I mean, Brock threw 2 interceptions, got stripped by Eric Armstead, Luke Farrell turned one over. How do you view turnovers like that in general? I mean, you guys had been pretty good the first 3 games. Do you sometimes see those as random, or do you see that as something that can be coached better on Thursday?
Oh, absolutely. They can be coached better, and it's ball security. It's I've told you guys before, we dedicate a half-hour meeting every week to. It's called the ball meeting, and we talk about protecting the ball. We talk about taking it away. We show video clips of around the league. People are getting so adept at the people term it the peanut punch after Peanut Tillman. a cornerback with the Chicago Bears who made it really an art. Back when I played, it was the first guy secured the tackle, and then the other guys, the second, third, they said, okay, you can go after the ball, but everybody was so intent. I think analytics and things talked about, how consequential protecting the ball and taking it away are. And so maybe the game's shifted a lot. You'll see a lot of times, I think it was Gardeck who came in there on Luke Farrell and did what we so often see Fred Warner do so effectively. And so to do that, it's ball security, it's high and tight, it's clasping the offhand. Now Luke, in his instance, was fighting off the one defender who was at his left.
Hey, if physical therapy didn't work for your pain, it's because you...
Boo to these ads. Boo to these ads, man. Y'all not getting it here.
Just, you have to continue to emphasize it. And you saw we had our hands on a couple of balls. I think it's one thing, you look at the end result, of course, because there's such a correlation between winning and losing if you win the turnover battle. I think what I look at is, are we when the quarterback's throwing the football, we call it ball out break? Are people's eyes on the quarterback? Are they breaking? Yes, we're doing that. Are we hitting the quarterback? We didn't do enough of that. That leads to turnovers. And then are we catching it when it's thrown to us? And I think we saw a couple opportunities where the ball was up in the air and we didn't catch it.
Come on, ask Lynch if he's looking for.
We have to change that. We have to get better at that.
By the way, this is going to be a long episode,
Thursday.
guys. Go get your
49ers
popcorn,
GM
your
and
dinner,
President of Football Operations, John Lynch, is the
do.
voice you hear this morning on the Uma Guest Line. And John, flipping back to the offensive side of the ball, I think a lot of 49er fans are shocked when they see the stat that the team does not have a rushing touchdown yet this season. When you look at overall team rankings, you guys are 28th in the league, averaging 88 yards per game. Do you think maybe that's a lack of execution by the offense, or do you think it's more the way that defenses are playing you guys in the first 4 games of the season?
I think a combination of both. We're very, skilled at running the football. We coach it well. We typically execute it very well. I think, we obviously have one of the best players in football as our number one running back in Christian. There's a lot of reasons why we're typically good at it. There's some schematic things that people are kind of bottling us up, and we got to find a way to work through that. And, kind of like turnovers, I think like things like that come in bunches, and our explosives just haven't been at the rate we're accustomed to doing it. Probably too many 2-3 yard gains where we're used to 5, 6, or 7. And I think you continue to do things right, continue to strain, continue to clean up things schematically. We'll get put in good positions, and I really believe it will come. It doesn't just happen, but I watch the way we work each week, and we've got a lot of capable people doing it. So we got to continue to do the things that we know lead to success in the running game, and we won't deviate from that. It's too important to who we are, our DNA, and we got to get better at it.
John, before I let you go, we can't not talk about what happened with Liam Cohen and Robert Saleh. And I want to go all the way back to last Thursday. After we talked to you, Saleh did his press conference and threw out there, the Jags do a really good job of picking up signs. He used the phrase sign stealing. Then he said it was legal. We were like, oh, that's interesting. It's a little peek behind the curtain, right? And so let's start there. When you heard Saleh bring that up last Thursday, did you have a reaction back then?
I think, in talking with Robert, he truly meant it as a compliment. They're very adept at like listening to the TV copy, hearing the language we speak on defense. And so I think Saleh was trying to, we know that and almost, just putting them on notice that we know, and, we might make some requisite changes. I think when he said sign stealing, that probably irritated them a little. I didn't think it would irritate them that much. I think, he's a first-year head coach. They're a team that's playing really well and playing with a lot of pride. They kind of seems like they used it as a little bit of a battle cry, and I don't think it affected the outcome of the game. Little dust up after the game, just words. I'm sure those guys will be fine. And I think we move forward. Things like that happen a lot. In today's world, things like that probably get caught a lot more often than they used to. And everyone's good. We move forward.
That was going to be my follow-up is, in any number of, I don't have your number of NFL games in front of me. It's a lot. How many times would you see post-game beef?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot, and it's like I said, in the day and age of cameras and cell phones and all that, I think things, you probably have to know that, understand that. That's a hard deal because emotions are running hot. Typically, it's very cordial out there. It's, hey, man, hard-fought game. There's a lot of respect, and I know that Robert respects Liam. I know in turn that Liam respects Robert. I'm sure they'll be fine. They'll laugh about it at some point, but they're little colorful, exchange there.
John, my question is, how often were you as a player trying to decode or steal signs?
God.
Because I remember seeing Peyton Manning at the line of scrimmage calling out all.
Come on. Let's get past this.
But, he's in a pass set, so that's pretty smart.
Hey, guys, right now we've got a handful of efficient air conditioning.
Forward. I just want to know if they're going to ask him whether or not they should be making a trade. All right, let's go.
Colts were killing the Broncos in the playoffs, and so it was a big deal whose it is. But Jeff zone here. Well, I learned a good lesson that day because he said Apple, and we got away with it this time, and it was a great lesson in year 13 for me. That's pretty astute. So.
Yeah. And then over Sean McVay, then there was the rivalry. Kyle does this get the juices? Okay, I mean, there's two parts to the Ram rivalry. Kyle had long run of dominance over Sean McVay. Then there was the NFC Championship, which was unfortunate. We could parse that out. And then the last year, they got you guys twice on really close games, and it's this incredible familiarity. Just this incredible familiarity, and there's a lot at stake in this game. So for you, if you know them so well and they know you so well, sort of dovetailing off what you just said about Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Is somebody going to put a wrinkle in this week, or is it just going to be a street fight and who's the last man standing?
Especially on a short week. I don't think this week is a whole lot, about wrinkles and trickery. I think this is execution. Who's going to block? Who's going to protect the football? Who's going to take away the football? Who's going to hit the quarterback? Who's going to bring down the quarterback? Who's going to make the plays in the big moments? I think that's what this will come down to. There'll be, fabulous players on both sides. I'm sure we'll see.
He's giving y'all a chance.
Plenty of Niner fans
who's hit the quarterback
that are home away from home.
That's your opening right there.
We gotta make it loud, and we gotta make that. There's nothing like seeing them go silent count in their own stadium, and we got to make that the case. But we got to go play winning football and find a way to beat a really good Rams football team. These guys are a good football team.
Yeah, with lots of questions about health, Pearsall, Purdy, you name it. So lots to unfold on Thursday, John. We always appreciate your time. We appreciate your energy, and thanks for switching days.
Okay.
We'll give you a long stretch off. We'll talk to you next Thursday. Enjoy that trip to L.A.
All right. So we didn't get what I was looking for from John Lynch here. So the next one is going to be Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy. I will go ahead and bring that up now. All right. Now, the one thing I will say is the only interesting nugget to me, I guess, is the one about perhaps Mac Jones will get the start. All right. So let's see what Kyle says here. We got Kyle Shanahan, his press conference from today. Immediately following Kyle is going to be our defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh. All right, let's get to it.
All right, guys. Injuries for today. Ricky Purcell, knee, won't practice. Jordan Watkins, calf, won't practice. CJ West, thumb, won't practice. Robert Beal, ankle, won't practice. Purdy, toe, won't practice. Juwan Jennings, ankle/ribs, won't practice. Yetur, knee, limited. Renardo, neck, limited. D. Winters, knee, limited. Mikael Williams, wrist oblique, limited. That's it. Go ahead.
Any of those guys you mentioned, have you ruled any of those players out from playing?
Yeah, no.
What has Brock's progress, if any, been since we last talked to you?
Not much. That was yesterday. So.
So is Mac totally off the injury list now?
Yeah.
How was that with Mykal Williams' wrist? I mean, he went to the locker room early in that game with it, but how's that hindered him, or is it hinder him at all?
It sure does some. I mean, it's painful, especially a position you play with your hands all the time. He's been dealing with it, and he's been battling through it.
First time facing the Rams with Adams and Nakua. What kind of challenge those guys present as a tandem? What have you seen on film so far?
Nakua. Just those two great receivers with an unbelievable quarterback, so huge challenge. Just like when they had Puka and Kupp going. Huge challenge, especially paired with Stafford. Two of the best hands in the league with Puka and Devontae, and the separation ability, how they can cut, how aggressive they are in their routes. They're as good as it gets.
Rams added Poona Ford to their D-line. How has he changed what they look like up front?
Hasn't changed what they look like, just added another one. He's a hell of a player. We've looked at him a number of different times. Does really good in the run game, also is effective in the pass game, but just add another real good player to that group, which allows them to rotate them a lot more and keep them fresher.
All right, so we got our first thing here. I see people in the chat saying it now, so let's go ahead and just talk about it for a quick second. You got the John Lynch saying Mac if he's needed, if he has to play, and then you hear Kyle just confirming he is completely clear. The knee isn't bothering him anymore. Now, they said the same thing about Purdy going into it, so you got to take that for what it's worth. I don't know who's going to start. I have no idea, but just with the speculation and what we're hearing, it's sounding like it's maybe 55% leaning towards Mac Jones right now. We got to see if Brock Purdy makes any progress tomorrow, right? It's possible that you can get Mac starting and Brock Purdy being the guy that's the backup. So we will have to see. And I see it here. He says, Mike, they lied about Purdy. I don't know that. Purdy himself said, I was fine going into the game. It wasn't about whether or not he felt fine. I talked about this already. With tendon issues and injuries, they feel fine when you're not using them. That's a thing, right? He's not running around and like John Lynch said, no one's touching the quarterback in practice. So he's dropping back and he's making his throws. He doesn't have to do a bunch of scrambling and all that stuff. So if that's the case, it is very possible he felt fine. It's very possible he felt fine. The issue is when you have these bruised tendons, once you start using them, they swell up right away, and they start to get sore right away. It feels like a bruise. And again, I'm a bowler, and I have the tendon issue in my thumb right now, and I feel fine. I felt fine since Friday. My bowling day is Wednesday. I felt fine since Friday. I guarantee you tomorrow when I start bowling, midway through the first game, I'm going to start feeling some of that bruising taking place. And so you have to be careful. You have to coach it. You have to baby it, so to speak. And so you have to find ways to pad it and protect it. That's hard to do in a toe because literally all the weight on your body is on it. So every time you step off of it, you're putting a lot of pressure on it. So we'll see how it plays out, man. That's all.
Obviously, Stout won't be on Nakua the whole game, but what about Nakua makes it such a challenging assignment for a nickel?
How big and physical he is, how good his hands are, and how aggressive he plays, tied with how big he is. He's full speed all the time, running through people, attacking edges, and the same way he runs through that football and catches it.
Will the decision to play Brock come down to pain tolerance?
No, it'll come down to do we feel he could play and to 100% of his ability, and do we feel that he can protect himself with it?
Right. Okay. So there's a good question there sounded like Grant. Celebrini says here, BS, don't trust a player if he says he's ready. Now, again, he said it afterwards. He didn't say it, before the game, obviously. But here's the thing. You say in here, we have highly paid trainers and medical examiners to determine if he's healthy. Don't trust the player. Brock Purdy did not have an injury designation going into the game, which means he was all clear. That means he was all clear. That does not mean that he didn't mess with those tendons and feel something afterwards. That's all I'm saying.
Said on the radio this morning that he thought that perhaps the second quarter scramble by Brock affected him, bothered him, I think was his the words he used. Was that part of what Brock was told to do to try to avoid scrambling as much as possible in that game?
No, he wasn't told that. They said, it was my first time dealing with people with a toe injury like that. I was trying to ask if it was like a high ankle sprain, like is it something you just keep zinging over and over? They said, no, it's not like that. If you ever got caught in an awkward position on a tackle, is where you could hurt your toe again. But it doesn't work like an ankle or anything like that. And I think they got him on that when they took him down. So whether it's scrambling or just getting tackled was kind of the worry of it.
Christian went on George's show this week, and he said that at that deadline where you acquired him, he thought he was going to be traded to the Rams. Had that happened, one, how painful would that have been for you? And did you realize the Rams were in the mix for him?
We heard they were in it. Yeah, so you hear a lot of things when you're dealing with trades. Sometimes they're real, sometimes they're not. People always do it left and right, usually trying to get a few more picks out of it and stuff. So, that's, I guess it was true, but glad he ended up here.
You've had a lot of success, it seems like, with the dirty kickoffs. What's the challenge of dealing with those?
Just how hard they are to catch. I think I want to say they've had 23 kickoffs and 21 of them have been dirty balls. They're number 2 in the league. The other team is number 1, Carolina. They've been great at kicking those dirty balls too. So anytime you can't catch it clean, the timing of just how you block and everything's off. So those guys get back there a lot faster. And when the timing's off like that and you don't know where the runner is tied to the blockers, also a lot more penalties happen too with holdings and stuff. So the dirty ball is a huge part of this game with the new kickoffs. It's not an easy thing to do for everybody.
You guys looking to using the dirty ball more often on your kicks, or what's?
You always look into it. Every team does. But the issue is if that ball comes up short of the 20, if it goes out of bounds, there's a lot. It's not really easy to always do a dirty ball. You just miss it a little bit and it's out of bounds or short, or you kick a touchback like that, and that's real risky too. So, I think you guys you saw that with Arizona last Thursday night. So there's a lot of risky things to it.
After the game, Christian said in a lot of ways that the team is like right there. They're just really close to doing everything that you should do out there on the field, especially in the run game. He says you guys are right there. When you look back at the tape from the game, did you see the same thing? Like we're right there, we're just missing a step here or a step there, or what is it?
Yeah, I see that. You'd have to watch all 20 of the clips to do it, but that's usually how the run game is. You got to break some big ones, and when you don't break any, we had about 3 opportunities too, and a lot of people are involved in that, but and we got to stick with it more by being in some different games to get more opportunities of that. But it's nothing, no one quick thing. It's everyone still going to work. 11 guys blocking, 11 guys getting after it, and doing better on other downs also.
You're so diligent usually, or on a normal week, about immediately correcting all the mistakes that you made in the game you just had before you move on. Does that not happen this week?
No, we don't have time to. We watch it all as coaches and stuff, but we don't review it today. We came here and it was Wednesday morning, and I think it's already Thursday for us. And by the end of today, it's Friday, and tomorrow's Saturday. So we got to get going, but we'll get to it eventually.
You just assume that guys are doing it on their own?
Position coaches will do it with guys. They won't sit and review the whole game, but they'll review specific things that we got to change or we got to get fixed when it's, you're not going to review a guy dropping a ball or something like that. But when someone's having a missed assignment or doing something wrong, those are things you definitely get corrected.
How concerned are you with this offense that you haven't scored a rushing touchdown so far?
I get concerned with scoring points. I don't really care how we do it. So I'd like to score more points. And if you score a lot of points and they're all passing, I don't care. If you score a lot of points and they're all rushing, I don't care. I just want to score points.
It's pretty rare for for your team to play 4 or 5 on the road so early in the season. And I know you're focused on this game, but in terms of how challenging is this block of games coming up?
I'm not sure. I don't even know who we have after the Rams. So I know we got 3 days off to think about that. But it is what it is. It's always challenging when you have more on the road, but that means you get more at home later at some time. So it's all how the schedule goes out and the healthier team when you're doing it and stuff like that. And could be a disadvantage, it could end up being an advantage. So don't look too much into it.
Pretty important question. What NFL coaches do you think could beat up Robert Saleh?
Just me. That's about it.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I would probably bet on Dan over a lot of people. Sal's too nice usually, but it seemed like someone struck a chord later. I mean, the other day, but
come on.
I don't think there's any fights going on. It was kind of comical now to look back at it.
You said previously that you thought C.J. West could play with a cast on his thumb. Did that change after the surgery?
No, it's something that we're looking into and still considering this week. And so that's why we haven't ruled him out. That's stuff he's experimenting with right now.
That's guys. All right,
guys. Thanks.
Okay, a lot of nothing there.
What's up, guys?
Big nothing burger. So before we hear from Robert Saleh, and of course they're going to ask about the Cone confrontation, right? Like, who gives a shit about that anymore? It has nothing to do with this game. So the first Kyle Shanahan presser, womp womp. Asking questions about a trade that happened 3 or 4 years. Like, who gives a fuck anymore? Who cares about that now? Like, this is such a cookie cutter beat writing team. Like, it's so disappointing. We need somebody in there that's going to ask the tough questions, and obviously you're not going to get answers to the questions, but what you can get is a peek behind the curtain, right? Now, I know for a fact that if they have asked, are you guys looking to trade for any defensive linemen? The answer, I can tell you verbatim, we're always looking into things like that. Even when Nick Bosa was healthy, it's stuff that we were looking into. Like that's what they're going to say, sure. But you keep saying it, letting them know that, hey, your defensive line sucks, and you need help getting pressure on quarterbacks. Like that, it needs to be said, and it needs to be asked. Maybe what type of players would you be looking to trade for? Does it have to be a veteran? Does it have to be a rookie? Does it have to be someone on a rookie contract? Just ask a question that makes them answer something without them having to say a name. You know, like keep the pressure on them at the podium. But I digress. Let's hear from Robert Saleh.
Robert, can you kind of take us through from your comments Thursday and how that may or may not have been misinterpreted by the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach?
No, it's all good. Whatever happened on Sunday doesn't change how I feel. You know, like I in my heart genuinely was trying to give a compliment, and I own the fact that I probably used it was a wrong choice of words, but however you want to word it, I mean they're really, really good at putting their players in position to be successful. You know, as coaches, we're always chasing leverage. They're trying to have winning leverage. We're trying to take leverage away. And everyone in the league is trying to find every avenue they can. And as a coach, watching their tape, I recognize the amount of hours that must be spent to be able to build formations and to find every little indicator they can to give their players a chance to be in a successful position. It's exhausting, and every team does it. Some do it better than others, and it was my way of acknowledging that these guys are really, really, really good at it. And you know, so, and like I said, Sunday doesn't change that. I think Liam's doing a hell of a job. I really do. You can tell that team is really taking on his personality, and you know, I hope they came out of the game healthy, and I wish him the best of luck throughout the rest of the season. But you know, I wish I could have found a better choice of words, but my intent was always to compliment that staff.
Have you reached out in the aftermath to the other one?
No.
Was your intent after the game to seek him out and sort of explain to him what you just explained?
The intent was to say exactly what I just said, that, you know, I think he's doing a really nice job, which I do. That football team is playing and taking on his personality. They're playing violently on the offensive line, and their running backs are running really hard. And I think they're doing a really, really nice job. And I just wanted to let him know that I appreciate the way he's going about his business with his football team.
Robert, you are universally regarded as a gentle giant. I mean, people have been around you for a long time, so I've never really seen him mad. I mean, does it take quite a bit to get you to say, I don't know, whatever may have been said?
I don't know. Everyone has a trigger, I guess.
Speaking of sign stealing, how's Sean McVay doing in that department this year?
I will say this. What Liam said to Saleh after the game was, and I quote, "Keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth." Saleh just said his name twice. So, I mean, that tells you how Robert Saleh feels. He can dress it up with the whole, oh, I meant it as a compliment, and I have no ill will, and, I still mean whatever. He said his name twice for a purpose, for a reason. So fuck you, Liam. I'll say it for you, Coach. I got your back. Fuck you, Liam. All right, y'all got the win, and you wouldn't have been talking that shit had y'all lost. We all know it. So get over yourself, dude.
No, it's the same thing. Those guys that they do, like Sean, Kyle, Kevin O'Connell, all those guys, they do such a great job through formation identification, building formations, and putting their players in position to gain leverage. And it's all the same thing. These guys are the best in the world at it, and that's why this tree keeps on growing and growing and growing. That's very, very hard to defend, and Sean's no exception. These guys are phenomenal at. I mean, you think it's easy. Well, just defend Puka. Well, shoot, they're always finding ways to put Puka in different spots to create leverage. Okay, then you got to deal with Devontae. Well, just double both of them. Well, then shoot, they got other guys, and they still manage to find ways to put those guys in winning leverage, and they do it with great film study and understanding football and understanding defenses and understanding body language and just trying to find every nugget they can to help their team be in great position, and that's what I was trying to articulate. And obviously, I did a poor job with the word. I mean, if I said the word film study, I don't think we're really talking about this, but I use signal stealing, and that's why I was so adamant about legally. I was just struggling for a word, but for Sean, the same thing. I mean, these guys are the best in the world at it, and that's why they are where they are.
Just to clarify, did you not mean sign stealing? You're talking about specifically game planning and studying?
Yeah, it's all in. Yeah. No, I had a bad choice of words, so.
Robert, on the Fred Warner forced fumble, the ball was on the ground. Brian Baldinger said that your defensive linemen were loafing after it. You saw the play. What did you think?
No, you know what? You could pick out any play and try to pinpoint different things, but we're always going to strive for tremendous effort. Our D-line can always be better. I can make an excuse for them on that particular play with the game we were running. We're running a game to our defensive left. The ball came out to our defensive right. They're spinning out, trying to find and locate the football, and their guys had a head start on it. So, but I'll never question the effort of this football team. Our guys are relentless to the ball. We get 11 hats in the screen at about 90% of the time. So, if that's a problem to some, it's not a problem in here.
Robert, what was your assessment of the pass rush on Sunday?
I thought Jacksonville did a really nice job kind of negating our ability to rush the passer. They got rid of the ball elitely fast. They stayed ahead of the chains. The one that the young rookie caught, the 28-yarder on 3rd and 15, they came out in no huddle, caught us in a miscommunication, and which extended a drive. But overall, I thought we were really good on 3rd down. I thought we did some good things overall, but obviously it wasn't good enough.
Robert, you weren't here for 7 of these games, but this franchise tied an NFL record with 11 straight games without an interception. I mean, it seems like it could be a little fluky, but I don't know, is there anything that you can point to, like, hey, this is what we're doing wrong, or is it just kind of their chance?
Yeah, we had opportunities on Sunday. Fred had a couple of ops. I think Upton made a hell of a play to get an interception. I can see what the refs saw, but there was a hell of a lot more going on throughout the game than just that. They'll come. We've had opportunities against Seattle. We were that close on a few. Against New Orleans, same thing. Arizona, I think we had a couple of shots at the ball. It's just they'll come. Sometimes it happens that way.
You mentioned Devontae. How are he and Puka working off each other, and how a tough challenge for you guys to prepare for?
Yeah, they're incredibly tough. Sean, like I said, he's got 2 guys, and he'll put them everywhere. He'll put them together. He'll put them opposite. And they find ways to put them in positions where they're leveraged. And so I think it starts with the coaching staff and finding ways to utilize both to make sure that they're both viable targets on each down, and and they're doing a great job. They do a great job at the line of scrimmage, getting off, and they do a great job at the top of the routes, creating separation. And they're big, strong, easy targets for the quarterback to get the ball to, and elitely efficient in terms of when they do get the ball in their hands, getting vertical and eating up yards.
Barrows, go ahead.
What does Nick Martin need to do to get in uniform to play?
He's got to dominate special teams first, and right now D Winters is playing at an extremely high level, and the guys after D and Fred are outpacing him on special teams, for Nick, he's going to be fine. He is. He's he needs reps, but he's got to earn those reps, and he's working hard at it. He is, but you're talking about guys who have been in this league for a while, between Giff and Curtis, guys who know the game and know how to play special teams and know how to be pros week in and week out. Not that he's not being a pro, talking about Nick, but they're just a little bit ahead of him right now in that regard. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Okay. All right. Again, a big nothing burger there from Robert Saleh, but okay. I guess we'll just go ahead and get to Brock Purdy and Mac Jones, right? Who saw this coming? Not me, but here we are. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. I'm not going to drag this thing out. I want to watch some ESPN too because the WNBA is on, and it's going to be a really good game. So here we go. Let's get to Brock Purdy. All right.
Brock, how do you feel physically compared to how you felt after the Week 1 game?
I feel a lot better compared to the Week 1 game for sure. Toes just a little sore from the game, but nowhere near as bad as after Seattle. So
We're in the same area.
Yep. It's just what you expect to have a certain level of soreness coming back and playing on it on Sunday night.
Yeah, it's something that we talked about. Playing might lead to some soreness and stuff. So I sort of expected it, but with the quick turnaround Thursday night game and everything, it's tougher. I don't have as many days to get right and heal up and feel better. So it's just where we're at.
Do you think the soreness came from 66 snaps or from specific plays like the scramble that you had?
Come on, it's sore.
I think just an accumulation of a bunch of different plays and movements, and it's the NFL. It's a violent game, and you got to be explosive in some certain situations. And
this is the thing.
So
they harp on the past.
Again,
who gives a shit
in general? And then feeling it the next day. So.
Brock, hindsight's obviously 2020, but would it have been better to give yourself another week?
I was ready to go. I felt pretty good, and for me to go out and execute an offense and go through reads and throw the ball throughout the week of practice, I felt great, and so I had a lot of confidence going into the game, thinking that was going to be good. So that was our decision, and we're rolling with it.
You said you were going to be real honest with yourself watching the film about the toe impacting the high throws. What do you think now that you've seen it?
Still, I don't really know. I missed the throws on.
Oh, now this was a good question. He said, Brock, you said that you had to watch the film first to see if you felt like the toe impacted those high throws. This is a great question here. Come on.
That was our decision, and we're rolling.
Here we go.
You said you were going to be real honest with yourself watching the film about the toe impacting the high throws. What do you think now that you've seen it?
Still, I don't really know. I missed the throws on film and everything, but is it something that had to do with my toe and whatnot? I couldn't tell you at this point. I'm still trying to get better and feel good with my toe and everything. But, I think down the road after I feel 100% and good to go and, start throwing the ball, maybe I can come back and answer that question. But right now,
Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. You know if it impacted the throw. And here's the thing, Jerry, the answer is no, and he don't want to say it because that means that he just missed, right? The answer is no. It's not a thing that you have to, let's see if I get better later on, and then I can tell you whether or not the toe bothered me. He's lying and saying he doesn't know. Yes, I agree. But the thing is, if the toe didn't impact it, then what you're telling the faithful is that's just who I am. And he doesn't want to say that or present that at the podium, period. Because if it was the toe, he would say, yeah, it was the toe. He's already on the injury report for the toe. There's nothing wrong with admitting that it's the toe. So saying, I don't know, and you guys know he's a man of faith, he's a man of high standard and morale, he doesn't want to lie at the podium, he doesn't want to say yes. And that's the answer. He's trying to avoid saying that the toe didn't impact me. That's what you guys are getting right here. He knows that he can't blame the toe. That's it. No injury designation heading into the game. Brock has been throwing high passes. I don't know why everyone is all of a sudden acting like this is something that just started happening. This isn't a one-off. Even when we were in love with Brock Purdy, and a lot of people still are, he was throwing high passes. That's just a part of the game. Quarterbacks throw high passes. Some quarterbacks throw them at a higher rate. We have seen Jawan Jennings how many times throughout Brock Purdy's tenure here have to jump up and catch passes. He's 6'5", for crying out loud. We've seen George Kittle jump up to catch high passes. It happens all the time from every quarterback in the NFL. Some guys just do it more than others. And so the answer is that he won't tell you guys. I'll tell you. And that's why I love doing these presser breakdowns. This is exactly why I love it, for this moment right here. He doesn't want to lie. He doesn't want to sit up here and tell you guys an untruth. And so because of that, he has to say, I don't know. We have to see how I feel afterwards. Maybe if I get a couple of good games going, I can say, yeah, it was probably the like, no. You don't get that luxury. When you're in pain, you know when you're limited. I just told you guys earlier that I have a tendon issue going on in my thumb, on my bowling hand, right? We bowled 3 games in my league. I couldn't bowl the 3rd game because I know that my thumb was impacting my performance. So I sat out the last game. You do know if an injury is stopping you from playing the way that you want to play. That's it. You don't have to sit here and say, I need film. I knew that was a bullshit excuse when he said it. Oh, I have to go watch the film to see if it was a toe. No one can see your fucking feet on film. You either felt it or you didn't. You don't have to lie to us. We're big boys. You got the contract. You're the starting quarterback. You can say yes, you can say no. It doesn't matter what you say, but give an answer. Don't sit there and say, I got to watch film. You have to watch film to know if your toe was hurting. Does it radiate on camera so we can see it? Are you zooming in on the foot to see if it's swelling through the shoe? Like, what are we talking about? Why do we ever think for a second that film review was going to let us know or let him know whether or not his toe impacted the way he was throwing the ball? There was no reason to ever believe that. We're better than that, faithful. Come on now. Let him pull the wool over your eyes for some other shit. That was a terrible answer. Great question, terrible answer.
That was going to be good. So that was our decision. And
yes, I rewound it so you can hear it again.
You said you were going to be real honest with yourself watching the film about the toe impacting the high throws. What do you think now that you've seen it?
I mean, still, I don't really know. You know, I missed the throws on film and everything, but is it something that had to do with my toe and whatnot? I couldn't tell you at this point. You know, like, I'm still trying to get better and feel good with my toe and everything. But, you know, I think down the road after I feel 100% and good to go and, you know, start throwing the ball, maybe I can come back and answer that question. But right now, I still don't know.
Brock, you faced this Rams front before, so whether it's you or Max, what kind of challenge awaits down there?
Yeah, I mean, very talented. Feel like they got some young guys, man, that are just playing passionate right now and are disruptive across the board. And their scheme as a whole is really good. And I feel like they're really comfortable playing with each other right now. And so as a whole, it's gonna be a great challenge for us. We got to have answers and not obviously hold on to the ball too long, get the ball out, and be smart with it. And you know, at the end of the day, like, understand we're playing against a really good pass rush and got to find ways to win still. So. But we respect him a lot.
Does the playing surface factor in at all to your decision to play? Do you just get it, playing?
No.
Robinson, he had a great summer. What did you think of him?
Surface factor
still. So, but we respect
another
him a
good
lot.
question here.
Does the playing surface factor in at all to your decision to play? Do you just get it, playing?
No.
Robinson, he had a great summer. What did you think of him throwing to him this summer?
Yeah, I thought, he's awesome, man. Very smart and great hands. He's reliable, can run any kind of route that we
doesn't
ask.
matter, he
And
says.
so he's been in so many different kind of situations and offenses. And so for us to be able to add him, man, was huge. And so for him to go back and play the Rams, I'm sure he's going to, be on a good one and ready for these guys. But I'm excited to watch him.
You say not practicing today makes it more doubtful to play on Thursday?
Honestly, Thursday night football games are, they come quick, so anything can happen. But I'm still hopeful that I can. So we'll see.
Look at it from a distance, and you obviously are not in the building, but look at it and say, you have a few extra days after the Thursday game. It's almost like a little mini bye. Like maybe you should not play this game and then have all that extra time. But you don't look at it that way, do you? If you're cleared, you're going.
Yeah, 100%. If I can play this game, I'm going to play. And obviously, I want to get right and get healthy and everything. So, but we need to win this game against the Rams. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Is it fair to say that if the game were tonight, you wouldn't feel ready to go?
Tonight, no, but I got 2 days. So.
Let's go, Grant. Let's go, Grant. Oh, yes. 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 Is it fair to say that if the game was tonight, you wouldn't be ready to go? Force his hand to answer a goddamn question. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot, man. Look at that. Look at me saying go Grant, right? Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought, right? But stop tiptoeing around, and you shouldn't be tiptoeing around anything if your toes are sore, right? Like, stand on that shit, bro. Stand on it. And then saying, if I'm healthy, I'm going to go. That's cool and all. That might be how you feel. It doesn't mean that's how the front office feels. Let me be very clear on my stance right now, because I know some people are trying to draw up this quarterback controversy thing. It is not a quarterback controversy. Brock Purdy is the starter, and I do believe that Brock Purdy is the better of the quarterbacks on the roster right now, right? Of all three of them, Brock Purdy is the best one. Here's the thing, though. You have to deal with his inconsistencies that he consistently shows. And so now it's about measuring whether or not this guy's worse and this guy's worse, which one gives you the best opportunity to win. Because let me tell you guys, Mac Jones is not perfect. He's going to throw interceptions as well, right? He's not going to scramble if a play breaks down. He runs like he's got cement shoes and quicksand, okay? So let me be very clear with what I'm saying. Brock Purdy is the better overall quarterback, but Mac Jones can win you some games. Brock Purdy can win you some games. We've seen it. We've seen it all before. So, Brock, you don't get to decide whether or not you're going to be the starter. He said it with a lot of confidence. If I'm healthy, I'm going to play, right? Like, yeah, no, that's not necessarily true because you don't really know what it's going to be. I said before going into this past week's game against the Jaguars, Brock should sit and be ready for the game that matters the most, and that was this upcoming Thursday. Now we're sitting here with a big question mark on whether or not he's even going to be able to play. This is what I was trying to avoid. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. It wasn't that I believed that Mac Jones was going to win that game. I had us losing that game with Mac Jones. I said we're definitely going to lose if Brock Purdy plays. That's what my take was heading into the game. That's what my take was all week long. Heading into the game, during the game. If any of you guys that are watching right now are Patreonians, you guys know that I said it from the very beginning. This is a game I expected to lose. I didn't care about losing this game. It's the only AFC game that we've had so far. This is a game that we can afford to lose. We're still in first. Now we have to play for first again. Like if we lose this one, we're not in first and the Rams take first place. Then all of a sudden we're sitting at 3-2. We shouldn't be questioning whether or not the quarterback is there. It should be focusing on a game plan. Now Brock Purdy didn't practice. Mac Jones got all the first-team reps today. All of them. So you take it for what it's worth. Well, I'm going to say all of them. He got the 88%, and then Martinez gets the 12 that's remaining, right? So you take it for what it's worth. But Brock's confidence in, if I'm healthy, I'm going to play. Maybe, but how long is that leash?
So, but we need to win this game against the Rams. So that's how I'm looking.
No, I'm going to run it back.
You have a few extra days after the Thursday game. It's almost like a little mini bye. Like maybe you should not play this game and then have all that extra time. But you don't look at it that way, do you? If you're cleared, you're going.
Yeah, 100%. If I can play this game, I'm going to play. And obviously, I want to get right and get healthy and everything. So, but we need to win this game against the Rams. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Say that if the game were tonight, you wouldn't feel ready to go.
Tonight, no, but I have 2 days. So.
You mentioned the passion of the Rams defensive line. Some of your teammates have commented also about just the way they play. I guess, how does that come through?
Can you say it again?
You mentioned the passion that the defensive line, the Rams defensive line plays with. And a couple of your teammates have mentioned kind of the same thing. Like, how does that come through? Like, just their, spirit or whatever it is?
Just film study and what they're putting on tape, the way that they play and, man, they're disruptive, they're pushing back the offensive linemen, multiple yards and, they have all these different kind of sacks and, stopping the run behind the line of scrimmage. Like, you could just tell they're disruptive and passionate, young and strong. And so you could feel them on tape, so that's just the reality of it. Thanks, guys.
Mac Jones time.
All right. How y'all doing? Good.
When did it turn for you physically last week from limited?
Wait, hold on. He says, Mike, why you think he's playing on Thursday? He ain't, bro. They effed up. Who do you think I think is playing on Thursday? I'm not sure if my message has been mistaken here. I've been saying I don't know who's playing on Thursday. My point was to let Brock sit on Sunday so he could play on Thursday. And now we got this conundrum. But I'm not sure why you think he's playing on Thursday. I don't know who he is. Are you saying, why do I think Mac is playing, or why do I think Brock is playing? But while you answer that in the chat, I know that there's a little bit of a delay. I'm going to run the question back a little bit, and we'll get to it.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go.
All right. How y'all doing? Good.
When did it turn for you physically last week from limited to being cleared and ready to go Sunday if needed?
Really just like I talked about, just day by day getting better. And at the end of the day, you just have to ask yourself if you can protect yourself in the game, and felt good to go. So obviously every week guys are dealing with stuff, and it's an everyday battle. So you're just working through it.
Did your approach change at all this week, or?
No, I've had a few of these Thursday night deals before, and it happens fast. So that's all I know. And really you just got to stick to your rules, and it's a quick week. You kind of just go out there and like fall camp, you just play the game, and each day is a new practice during fall camp. So that's kind of how we view it. It's very quick, and turnaround's quick. So that's how I'm approaching it.
Film in a Thursday situation, and what do you think of the Rams on film?
Yeah, obviously you watch and get as much in as you can, but like I said, you kind of go out there and just play ball. But they're really good. They're, in my opinion, the number one defense in the NFL after watching them. I know statistically they're pretty high, but I'm really been impressed with them. So it's going to be a huge challenge, and they do a lot of good stuff.
I know you say you're going to prepare like a starter every week. How difficult is it? Are there challenges? Because like the last month here, it's kind of been, you don't know which way it's going to go every week.
Yeah, for sure. Like I say, that's your job as a backup, and you're not playing the first snap if you're backing up, and then everything else is fair game. So I definitely approach it that way. I have a good system that I believe in, and the coaches definitely have us ready to play. So that's your job as a quarterback, and whether you're a starter or backup.
Have there been things along the way, just even in the last month, that you've kind of tweaked to knowing that it is going to go either way kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit. It's just day to day, just attacking each day, honestly. None of that outside noise and things like that don't affect me. So I just go through my process, and I know that it gives me a chance on Sunday. That's all you can ask.
When you say that in your...
All right, two things here. Two things. JP, bro, I got to disagree with you a little bit here. You know you're my dog, so don't take it the wrong way. It says a lot of casuals in the chat. What has Mac ever won? I don't really know what this question means. Does he have playoff experience? Yes. Did he win games in college? Yeah, yes. Has he won games for the 49ers? Yes. He's done everything that Brock Purdy has done, except get to a Super Bowl and lose. Purdy has won games, so has Mac. Mac made it to the postseason, I think, his rookie year or something like that? Didn't win anything, but, you have to have an opportunity to win something. He hasn't been on a team with an opportunity to win anything. So I don't quite understand what that comment means. And no, I don't know if Purdy's playing. Actually, I'm going to give you guys an answer at the end of this Mac Jones presser as to who I think is going to be the starter on Thursday. So, actually, you know what? Forget it. I can tell you now. I think Mac Jones is going to start, and here's why. The Niners have a tendency of letting the starting quarterback speak at the presser, the last presser before the game. This is the last presser before the game. And so they could have just put Brock out there and let the Rams think, okay, well, it's just going to be Brock. And then, boom, they can make the switch and say it's Mac Jones and rule Brock out afterwards. Now, I do think that this is some positioning here. I think that putting both of them up there makes the Rams watch film of Purdy and watch film of Mac Jones. And if by chance Purdy is the guy, any film that they watch of Mac Jones in this offense, it's a benefit to the Niners, right? Because it's less reps and less snaps they've prepared for against Brock. But they've been studying Brock for the last 3 seasons, so you don't really need to go out there and study a lot of his film. You need to they're prepared for Brock. Now you got to study the nuance, and the nuance is going to be Mac Jones. This will be their first time playing Mac Jones. So I think that Mac Jones is probably going to be the guy on Thursday. So, yeah, that's my answer there. He says, you think Mac Jones gives us the best chance to win? Honestly, I don't know that he gives us the best chance to win. But if he's the healthier guy, then that's what you go with. If he's going to get rid of the ball faster and not throw as many hospital balls, then that's the guy that you go with. So here's the thing, JP. I don't know many people that think the Niners are going to win this game. When Sunday night was here, everybody had the Niners getting smoked by the Rams on Thursday. Everybody. I was the only person immediately after the game saying I got the Niners winning by 6. Now, tonight, I've seen some people in the chat saying that the Niners are going to win, and that's cool. I don't know if they were saying that because they think Brock is going to start or if they were saying that because they think Mac is going to start. But gives us the best chance to win what? We have won more games this year with Mac Jones than we have won this year with Brock Purdy. It's not me making anything up. We can say that the defense did it, and had Brock went down the field and won this game, we could have said the same thing. The defense did it, right? Like the defense tightened up in the second half, right? If it weren't for that kickoff return, they don't touch the end zone the rest of the game. I mean, that punt return, kick return, whatever it was, they don't touch the end zone. The defense tightened up in this last game also. So all I'm saying is it's tough to say, do you think he gives the best chance to win? Right now, the Niners have 2 guys that can come in here and play mediocre to average to slightly above average for at the quarterback position. They don't have a guy that's like the guy. There's no elite quarterback on this roster. If you're in the Brock Purdy is elite camp, I don't know what you've been watching. Does he have some elite traits? Sure. The layered throws, throwing on the roll, throwing on the run, getting outside the pocket. Yeah, he has some elite traits, sure. But most quarterbacks in the NFL have a couple of elite traits. That doesn't mean that they're elite quarterbacks, right? Like Mac Jones has an elite deep ball. Purdy has an okay deep ball. Mac Jones operates in rhythm very well. Purdy operates in rhythm better than Mac Jones does, right? If you're asking which guy to throw to a spot, Purdy is your guy. If you're running a short thing and a receiver's going to stop and turn to the quarterback, Mac Jones is your guy. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say here. So I'm not dumping on either guy. I feel just as confident in both of these guys being the starter next game on Thursday. I will tell you this. I will be more hesitant because I think Brock Purdy is going to be pressing and stressing and trying to show that he's better than what this last game showed. And I don't want a guy going in there with added pressure. I'd rather have a guy that's got nothing to lose going in there in this situation, and that would be Mac Jones. Mac Jones was brought here to be the backup, not the starter. He's got nothing to worry about. Like, if he goes out there, think about this for a second, guys. Watch this, right? And I've said this before. I'm going to continue saying it. If we just had the same exact game, same results, same amount of turnovers, same situations and everything, but it was Mac Jones, You know what we would have said? Yeah, it's Mac Jones. He's the backup for a reason. We got Purdy coming in on Thursday. And we all would have felt better. We all would have felt comfortable. The reason why no one's comfortable right now is because it wasn't Mac Jones, and that was our starter that got cooked like that. That was our starter that got these players injured. Jawan Jennings, Pearsall. Robinson took a hell of a shot going across the middle, right? Christian McCaffrey took a hell of a shot that led to an interception across the middle. High passes. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't know. You can't say that with certainty. You don't know that we would have gotten blown out. You don't know that. But what I'm saying is if everything happened the same exact way, we have more confidence going in Thursday, knowing that, one, Brock had more time to heal up, and two, he's back. We would have had more confidence. That confidence is now gone. Half the fan base doesn't believe in Brock, and half the fan base doesn't believe in Mac. So we're in no man's land right now when it comes to quarterbacking. We're stuck in position right now. We're just waiting to see how it plays out. Now it's all watch and see. This is a winnable game, by the way, guys. This is a very winnable game. And I still think, whether it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy, the 49ers are going to win this game. I think a bunch of the 49ers haven't changed to the 49ers did it in this game. I'm talking interceptions. I'm talking rushing touchdowns. I'm talking getting hits on the quarterback, right? Like they said that was a thing last week. Like the Niners didn't even hit the quarterback. I think they're going to do that this week. All those they didn't is going to turn into they did in this game. Now, is it going to be enough to equate for a win? I hope so. I think so. But we got to stop acting like Brock Purdy is the savior and he's elite and he's this guy and he's that. He's not those guys. He's not those guys. I was having a conversation with someone on X earlier today, and this guy was comparing Brock Purdy to Josh Allen. To Josh Allen.
Excuse me, bitch.
Like,
are you fucking kidding me?
Where did you get that from? How? Anyways, I digress. Let's get back to the presser.
Your opinion, they're the number one defense in the league. What do you see that really jumps out to you?
I think just the way they play, their mindset. There's always 11 guys on the screen, and they have a great defensive line. They played a lot of different schemes. They do a lot of stuff, but do it well. So it's going to be a challenge, and been impressed with them. So can't wait to go against them.
When the game was clinched and Eddie kicked the game winner, you embraced Martinez and you seemed really emotional in that moment. What was behind that emotion there?
I felt like a long time ago, so definitely enjoyed it. But I'm looking forward to, going against the team this week. And every win you can get in the NFL is emotional and important. So I understand.
Another dumbass question. You seemed really emotional about a game 2 games ago, right? You embraced the kicker who made the game-winning kick. Why do you think he was emotional? They drove down the field and they won the fucking game. Like, what kind of stupid question is this? God, man, we need to revamp this media room. Like, it is absolutely terrible. I don't get it.
And that we all understand that, and that's the goal we're trying to do this week.
You did your brace during the game, and then you put it back on in that game. Where are you now as far as playing with the knee brace?
I'll probably have it on.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there. That's it, man. Listen, guys, it's going to be a lot of fun on Thursday night. And for those of you who just know that the Niners are going to lose, by the way, I understand where that comes from. So I'm not hating on anybody that feels that way, right? I'm not mad at takes like this. Rams are better than the Jags. We lost to a bad team. At home, too, by the way, right? Like, we lost at home. So I'm not mad at anybody who feels this way. You don't have to say, I'm just keeping it real. No, we completely understand. This game is not winnable by far. I completely get it. I completely understand, right? I do. I promise you, I get it. But this is my logic. This is my thinking. We know the Rams really well. The Rams know the Niners really well. Crazy things happen in divisional games all the time. Just last Sunday, not this one that just passed, but the Sunday before that, the worst team in the NFL pitched a shutout against their division opponent. The Carolina Panthers, 30-0 against the Falcons, right? And you flash forward to the following week after a really bad game by the Falcons and a really good game by the Panthers, and what happened? The Panthers lose like 40-13 or something crazy like that, right? They just get completely smoked. And the Falcons go out there and handle business against Washington in a convincing win, right? Division games are always a little weird. I'm going to factor that as a tally in favor of the 49ers. Thursday night football in general is really weird, probably because most of Thursday night football are divisional games. I'm going to tally that in favor of the 49ers. And this is a game that the Niners need to stay in first place. I like Kyle with his back against the wall. I do. Kyle's far from perfect. I criticize and critique this guy a lot and all the time, and it's not going to stop. But Kyle, sometimes he just finds magic. He finds magic. We saw him start to get in his bag heading into halftime. We saw him get into his bag a little bit at the end of the last game, and I think he had a game-winning drive ready if the quarterback didn't get the sack fumble, if Armstead didn't bust through that line and knock the ball out of Brock Purdy's hand. I think that he had a game plan to matriculate his way down the field and get in that end zone. I really, really do. I do. The Rams' defensive line is going to put a lot of pressure on the 49ers. Now, let me ask you guys this question, right? Here we go. The 49ers 2025. I completely agree with this. Now, let me ask you a question. You want a guy out there with a bad leg, or you want the guy that is going to drop back and throw the ball quickly so that the pass rush can't get there? Which would you prefer? You don't have to answer in the chat. Just think about it for a second. If you guys can all see it, that the Rams' defensive line is going to give our offensive line problems, that tells me that our coaching staff sees it also. That tells me that Chris Forrester and Kyle Shanahan have a plan. They're not just going to stand there and let their quarterbacks get pounded. They're not going to be calling these 7-step drops that take all day for plays to develop. They're not going to do that. They're going to want a quick hit, get this ball out of their hands quickly, and march down the field and get that running game going. That's what they're going to do. Mac Jones played fired up in these couple of games that we saw with him. We've seen Purdy play fired up as well. It's not a knock on Purdy. What I'm saying is I have equal confidence in whoever is the starter. But I would personally start the guy that's completely healthy and has a bigger arm in case we need to do some of those Hail Mary throws again. Remember that long throw down the left sideline to get us in the field goal range? Y'all remember that throw? Ricky Pearsall caught it. Does Brock make that throw? I don't know. I'm not going to play the what ifs games, but what I'm going to say is they can do it. And yes, the no huddle offense, yeah, that's a solution, but it's temporary because your team gets winded. And when you start having incompletions and drop passes like what we saw in this last game, by the way, Brock Purdy was not the only reason we lost that game. There were a ton of drop passes. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It was a team effort. Special teams let us down. Defense let us down in the first half. Wide receivers let us down. Quarterback let us down. Running game let us down. Right? Everything that could go wrong went wrong, and the Niners were still in position to win that game. 4 turnovers to none, and we had an opportunity to march down the field and go for the game-winning drive. I'm telling you guys that the Niners can win games, and I don't care how good the opposing team is. They got to deal with us. We're not going out there to just lay down, guys. This team isn't going to go out there and have back-to-back horrible games. The Niners aren't going to have 4 turnovers in this game. I don't care if it is Brock Purdy back there. Brock Purdy's not going to have another game with a sack, fumble, and 2 interceptions or 3 or however many he had. It's not going to happen. Not back-to-back. Not back-to-back. The Niners aren't going to have another game where the quarterback doesn't get hit at all. They said that was the first time that happened since like 2010 or some crazy shit like that. It's not going to happen again. So think about all those negatives. Think about all those things that it took place, just enough for the Jaguars to sneak out of Santa Clara with a win. It ain't going to happen again, guys. It's not. And if it does, I see you here. He says, yes, it will. If it does, then that tells me it's not the personnel. That's the issue. If we have another performance like we just had on Sunday, it's not the personnel. It's the coaching. I remember watching Mike Singletary as a head coach of the 49ers. I remember watching Chip Kelly as the head coach of the 49ers. I remember watching Jim Tomsula as the head coach of the 49ers. Those guys were doing the same thing game after game. You didn't even have to watch. You guys remember the Chip Kelly era? Right before Kyle Shanahan? Opening drive, touchdown. Rest of the game, nothing until the very last drive. Garbage time points. Niners were putting up 10 to 17 points a game. Kyle don't do that. As much as we like to blame Kyle for all the crazy stuff that he likes to do and how stubborn he is and all that, Kyle don't do that. I haven't seen it before. Now, the end of last year put a lot of pauses on a lot of people, especially when it came to Kyle Shanahan. But the team was decimated with injuries. No Trent, no Kittle, no Ayuk, right? Purdy in and out of the lineup, right? It was a whole bunch of stuff that happened at the end of the year, and we were already eliminated from playoff contention. Not going to count that against Kyle Shanahan, guys. I mean, come on. I'm not going to count that against him. And the Rams should be very, very anxious, right? Those horses are in the stable, and they're pulling. They're ready to go. They're waiting for that gate to open. That's cool. That's great. The Niners are looking for some redemption. That defense is tired of people saying that they don't have any interceptions on the season. The running back room is tired of people saying we don't have any rushing touchdowns on the season. We're in first place, guys. The Rams are at the bottom looking up at us. No, not the very bottom. They're not in fourth place, don't get me wrong. But they're looking up at us, not the other way around. Not the other way around. Maybe we don't get the win. I promise you we look competitive. I promise you it's a close game. I'm taking the Niners by 6. I'm taking the Niners by 6. I'm right until I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, cool. I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with that too. I didn't expect this to win them all. I had the Niners losing 4 games this year. We are a quarter way through the season. A quarter is a fourth. And if we duplicate the production so far, guess how many losses the Niners have at the end of the season? 4. All right? Guys, listen, I love you guys. I'm going to watch some ESPN2. WNBA is on right now. All right? You guys stay safe out there. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to the Patreon page, man. I can't tell you guys enough. I have a lot of fun over there, man. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. Got some fun stuff coming to you guys over there. And I will see you all on Thursday, I believe is my next show. We'll be live over there. So pregame show Thursday, and then halftime show here on YouTube. But all the fun is going to be happening over on Patreon. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. I'll pop it up there one more time in case you guys missed it. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. $5 tier and up. You guys can enjoy the game with me, man. Don't go out there and buy Prime. Come and watch it with your boy. All right? Prepare for glory. Anticipate pain. We're going to get it this year. But always remain faithful. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, them nothing but Niners. Nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners.